The disabled tyrant's beloved pet fish. Transmigration. Chapter 61. Liu was originally focused on gnawing on the sheep leg when suddenly he was taken advantage of, making him both embarrassed and frustrated. He felt like the original novel was a complete sham. Otherwise, why would Xuěshān blossom into a black lotus flower while Jingwang, this tyrant character, actually was a big scoundrel who loved to eat Liu's tofu? He even had to kiss Liu while Liu was eating. How was he supposed to live like this? Not to mention, the kiss happened right in front of Xuěshān and the princess of Jinju. Liu's self-comforting abilities couldn't even keep up with the speed at which Jingwang was bullying him. The princess of Jinju was engrossed in eating just like he was, so who knows if she saw it or not. However, Xuěshān's wide-eyed look as if he just got struck by lightning clearly said that he definitely saw it. Big scoundrel. How was Liu supposed to face people in the future? Liu raised his arm and angrily wiped at his mouth, which had been kissed by the scoundrel. Both eyes round and glaring, sparks flying everywhere. When he panicked before, he kicked, he hit, and he also regretted it. He couldn't panic again. At the same time, he also couldn't get physical. Not to mention that if he were to be honest, getting physical was no use. Jingwang was taller and stronger than him. He could pick Liu up like he was picking up a baby chicken. Liu. Seeing how Liu wanted to explode, yet had no choice but to endure it, Jingwang couldn't help but smile faintly. Perhaps Xiaoyu hasn't even discovered it himself, but he was becoming more and more used to Jingwang's intimate actions. The princess of Jinju and Xuěshān were both unfamiliar with young Master Li. In order to ease the atmosphere and expel the awkwardness, Xuěshān suggested for Liu to introduce himself. With a flush that hasn't dissipated on his face yet, Liu simply said his name and age. When Xuěshān learned that young Master Li's name was Yu, he finally realized something. Jingwang, this person, not only liked fish and was obsessed with fish, he even found someone whose name had the character of fish in it. Looks like Jingwang not only won against him, he left Xuěshān behind 18 blocks away. Xuěshān had a faint smile on his face, but deep inside he wanted to grind his teeth. When the princess of Jinju learned that young Master Li normally helped Jingwang take care of fish, she was almost beyond herself. Young Master Li, can you bring Xiaoyu to my estate to play next time? Although the princess of Jinju couldn't convince Jingwang, the smart little princess can tell that young Master Li could be won over. Liu chuckled awkwardly twice. How was he supposed to bring himself to the princess's place? Forget it. There's no place like home. Liu didn't want to go anywhere. Because of the addition of 2 more people, the food on the table was no longer enough. Xuěshān ordered another dish of stewed beef radish. The princess ordered a bowl of mutton meatball soup. The restaurant made them very quickly and sent them over. Accompanying these 2 dishes, they also sent 2 entire plates of green cilantro and green onions. Xuěshān and Jingwang both didn't like them, but between the princess and Liu, one liked the cilantro while the other liked green onions. In silent agreement, the 2 people divided up these 2 dishes and cleaned the plates between themselves. Because of this, they looked at each other like they encountered a fellow comrade, exchanging knowing smiles. Their relationship as people who love food was established just like this. Jingwang, who suddenly felt like he couldn't carry the crystal bottle any longer. The princess of Jinju was a very friendly person. Adding in her relationship with Xuěshān, she was already treating Liu with utmost familiarity. During idle chatter, she learned of Liu's encounter with the dishonest merchant. Furrowing her elegant brows, she said indignantly, "How preposterous! How can my Jinju nation have such citizen?" With the princess's delicate scolding, Immediately 2 guards disguised as servants entered and accepted the princess's order to go teach the dishonest merchant a lesson. Liu felt that doing so was a bit too much, so he quickly thanked the princess for her concern and he told her how he tricked the dishonest merchant in turn. That is nothing, it wouldn't hurt him at all. Yet Xuěshān couldn't help being indignant on behalf of Liu. That black merchant targeted you and deliberately tried to extort from you. He should be taught a harsh lesson so that he won't harm others in the future. That's right. That's the logic. The princess clapped her hands with a smile and said, "Young Master Li, just let my people go deal with it. Don't worry about this." Liu knew that he couldn't easily persuade these 2 people. He unconsciously looked at Wang Shi for help. Wang Gonggong also firmly approved of teaching the merchant a lesson personally, but Li Gongzi was also His Highness's darling, it was hard to refuse him. With a brilliant idea, Wang Shi said, "It's all up to the master." Wang Shi's master, His Highness Jingwang, was currently holding a cup of hot tea and drinking calmly. He's been listening to everything Ye Xuěshān and the Princess of Jinju had said but had never expressed anything. Liu felt somewhat surprised. Normally, even if his hand was squeezed a little tightly by gold chains, Jingwang would personally take care of it for him. How come this time, Jingwang had no response? Liu felt ashamed for what he just thought. Did he succumb to Jingwang's poison or something? Why did he think that it should be right and proper for Jingwang to get revenge for him? In reality, Jingwang was Jingwang. Liu was Liu. If Jingwang didn't want to step in, he can't be held accountable anyways. Jingwang clearly didn't want to get involved. Liu can't dissuade the princess and Ye Shizi. Therefore, he could only watch wide-eyed as the guards went to follow their orders. Not long afterwards, the guards returned with strange looks on their faces. They brought back a piece of news. Just now, that dishonest merchant was injured and had to be carried away. The guards asked around. They heard that the dishonest merchant was taking a stroll and had a cloth sack thrown over his head. Then he was pushed into an alleyway and beat up. His head swelled up like a pig's head. All of his teeth were broken and his jaw was dislocated as well, making him unable to speak. It was pretty much impossible for him to cheat and swindle anyone again in the future. That black merchant must have screwed too many people over and received retaliation. Yet Xuěshān felt extremely satisfied. However, the princess felt somewhat regrettable because it wasn't her people who did it. "If you meet this kind of merchant next time, be sure to tell me," the princess said after thinking briefly. Ye Xuěshān. Liu. To show his appreciation, Liu said humbly with cupped hands, "Many thanks, Princess, Ye Shizi." Jingwang's gaze has never left Liu. When Liu said this thanks, Jingwang looked like he was blasted in the face by cold wind. Jingwang got up and pushed down Liu's cupped hands. Ye Xuěshān knew Jingwang since they were younger. Pretty much understanding Jingwang's temperament, he said with a smile, "Tianqi, don't be so petty." Jingwang very straightforwardly shot him a sideways glare and pulled Liu to leave. Liu figured that his duration of his transformation skill was almost up and he still needed to save some time for the journey back. Unable to stay any longer, he very reluctantly said his goodbyes to the princess and Ye Xuěshān. The princess said with a smile, "Young Master Li, I'm about to get married to young Master Ye Xuěshān soon. When the time comes, you should come drink our celebratory wine." The Princess of Jinju and Ye Xuěshān's celebratory wine. Liu felt a rush of excitement. He recalled the ending of the Princess of Jinju in the original novel. This princess was married off to the 6th prince by the emperor. The 6th prince's whole family was punished later by Jingwang. The Princess of Jinju was also punished by implication and was banished to a cold palace, unable to return to Jinju for the rest of her life. Jingwang was only venting his anger then to the 6th prince. Now Ye Xuěshān was safe and sound. The little princess was also about to get married to Ye Xuěshān. This meant that she probably wouldn't end up being punished for offending Jingwang, right? Looks like a transmigrated fish like himself could do plenty of good things. For some unknown reason, Jingwang didn't reveal to Xuěshān that Li Yu was the person who sent the letter back then. However, Li Yu didn't mind. He didn't need Xuěshān to feel grateful towards him. However, to be able to see two people that he directly and indirectly saved settle down together and get married, Li Yu felt extremely self-accomplished. Many thanks for the invitation. It would be my honor to go, Li Yu said with a smile and carefully nodded his head. On the way back to the Jing estate, the carriage traveled very fast and started to bump and sway again. Li Yu wasn't the stupid fish as before. This time when the carriage swayed, he dug his fingers tightly into cracks of the wooden planks inside the carriage. Like this, no matter how hard the carriage swayed, he wouldn't bump into the person sitting across from him. Meanwhile, upon discovering that Li Yu would rather grab tightly onto a wooden plank than bump into him, Jingwang's eyes dimmed and became more unreadable. Some things had to be spoken. Li Yu sorted out his thoughts for a moment and then said, "Your Highness, can I discuss something with you?" Stiffening all over, Jingwang clenched his jaw tightly. Before Jingwang declined, Li Yu scrambled to say, "I know that this trip to the marketplace was actually something you asked Wang Gonggong to arrange. I already thanked the princess and Xuěshān, and I also need to thank you. Thank you for bringing me out to have fun and always taking care of me, as well as for many other things." Li Yu lowered his head and struggled to calm his thoughts, doing his best to say in an unperturbed tone, "I had been thinking a lot about the fact that you like me, but every time, I'm always getting distracted by you." Li Yu lightly chuckled briefly, feeling rather incredulous himself. "You are always right in front of me, wholeheartedly treating me well, making me happy, and also making me worry about the future. I clearly wasn't like this before." Li Yu didn't know what was wrong with him these last few days. An open-minded and outgoing boy can sometimes be even more sensitive than a girl. He instinctively felt like he should only like Jingwang in the way that a pet liked its master. This kind of like wasn't love. But now that the human him was also being pampered all day by Jingwang, it actually became somewhat hard to differentiate. Even though he tried to remain calm these last few days, he didn't manage to decide on anything. Should he continue to remain quiet, all the way until he obtained some kind of resolution? Li Yu felt like it was extremely possible that he was actually trying to avoid the answer. Because the thing between himself and Jingwang have long become far more complicated than simply liking or not liking. Fundamentally, he was someone from the modern era. He knew that a man could like another man and never rejected interacting with Jingwang like that. Sometimes he even thought that he, a person who liked looking at beautiful men, might be bisexual, or perhaps, he was simply gay. His sexuality wasn't the issue. The issue was that Jingwang was a character in a novel while Li Yu was a real person. Jingwang was a tyrant. He was a fish. Even though the distance between them had nothing to do with sexuality, it was still thousands of miles apart. But despite the thousands of miles of distance, it also wasn't something especially easy to give up. "I'm sorry, Your Highness." Struggling for a while, Li Yu still decided to say it out loud. He can't always keep silent. It would make him seem too scummy. He still wanted to give himself a little more time, hoping that time would force himself to make the decision that he couldn't make right now. "You treat me very well, Your Highness. Can you give me more time and let me think more carefully about our relationship?" I don't know, Jingwang looked at him deeply. Before Li Yu could say any more chaotic words of rejection, he suddenly moved violently closer. With a bang, Li Yu was shoved against the wall of the carriage. The carriage gave a heavy shake, but Li Yu didn't feel any pain at all. Jingwang's arm encircled his body and cushioned his back, absorbing all of the force from the blow for him. This man's handsome face reflected in Li Yu's pupils, coming closer and closer. Liu swallowed down all of the words he didn't manage to finish saying. Almost as if he knew what the other was about to do, he grudgingly closed his eyes. But after waiting for a long time, Jingwang only hugged him, nothing else. Liu opened his eyes again and discovered that Jingwang was looking at him with a smile. Liu was furious. The big scoundrel was actually teasing him. And he actually thought that Jingwang was going to kiss him just now. Face heating up, Liu subconsciously went to struggle free. Jingwang embraced him even tighter. When Liu was about to turn his head stubbornly away, Jingwang placed a light kiss on his forehead, like he was trying to placate him. Liu remembered a saying that he heard from somewhere he can't remember. A forehead kiss meant innocent, pure love. Jingwang, he liked me. Liu's heart beat rapidly. Jingwang turned Liu's extremely flushed face straight. They were extremely close again. Jingwang's pitch black eyes seemed to hold some kind of magic, making Liu feel like he was being completely sucked in, unable to escape. Jingwang finished kissing his forehead. Then his lips rubbed against Liu's nose. Last, they stopped a centimeter away from Liu's lips. The two of them quietly embraced in the narrow carriage with their breaths intermingling. They were close enough that they could hear each other's heartbeat. Liu clearly knew what the other planned to do. If he wanted to avoid it, it wasn't impossible. But he didn't. In this moment, he astonishingly discovered that he was also really hoping that the other man would kiss him. When Jingwang finally gave him an earth-shattering kiss, Liu let out a heavy sigh internally. His first reaction towards Jingwang's intimate action towards him was no longer thoughtlessly pushing it away. Instead, it was a slight hint of shyness. Even if there was annoyance, it was only worry that others would see them, fear that others would criticize or gossip, afraid that. Liu was afraid of many things and he got angry easily. Still, Jingwang was the only person he wouldn't actually get angry with. He was even waiting for him. What to do? He seemed to have really started liking him. When Jingwang kissed him, Liu felt like he was sitting on a small boat, swaying back and forth. This kind of feeling was probably the so-called falling in love, right? End chapter. The disabled tyrant's beloved pet fish. Transmigration. Chapter 62. This was probably the longest kiss Liu have ever experienced. Midway, he was even somewhat regretful. He just realized that he liked Jingwang after all. It's not like he had already agreed to be together with him. So, they shouldn't be kissing until they were completely breathless right from the start. But the few times he wanted to yell stop, the man holding him would start kissing him with a smile. Liu has never seen Jingwang smile so happily. And it's all because this was the first time Liu didn't push the other away, and instead accepted him. The other had his eyes closed, eyelashes faintly trembling. Like having grown little hooks, they scratched and plucked Liu's heartstrings non-stop. Another kiss later, Liu felt as if the door to his heart was opened wide. Immeasurable excitement and sweetness stumbled over each other as they rushed outward. He felt like he really did like Jingwang. That's right. This kind of rolling, burning sensation, other than love, what else can it be? Heart trembling, Liu suddenly thought everything through. So, he did like Jingwang as well. It's all his fault that it took him some time to realize. He was unable to see his own heart clearly before. Liu's eyes felt a bit wet. With a shaky finger, he touched Jingwang's lips. The kiss stopped. Jingwang turned to devotedly kiss Liu's finger. Then he moved Liu's hands around his neck. Before it was only Jingwang holding Liu around the waist. Now, they were embracing each other back mutually. Jingwang gently held the slim waist of the person in his arms. Hesitating for a moment, he decided to temporarily hold back from pulling on the pearl belt on the youth's waist. The entire world quieted down, leaving behind only the little space inside this carriage where the two of them were kissing each other clumsily. The moving horse had stopped some unknown time ago. The moment of affection didn't even feel enough. Liu suddenly yelled "ah," because the countdown warning for the duration of his transformation sounded in his head at this time. No time left. He needed to leave immediately. Liu was still pursing his lips just now, looking very reluctant to stop. But in an instant, he pushed Jingwang away, pulling off Jingwang's hand, which was touching the pearl belt around his waist. Liu shot Jingwang an angry glare. But the words that he said completely lacked all fury. I have things to do and must immediately leave. Next time, no, tomorrow. I will talk to you then. In panic, Liu wanted to jump off the carriage. Jingwang realized that Xiaoyu was about to transform here. However, Jingwang quickly glanced at the crystal bottle that was placed by his side. The Carpiao's doppelganger floated quietly inside it. But the crystal bottle was here, where else can Xiaoyu go? He can't let the Carpiao absent-mindedly change back outside. Jingwang decisively pressed Liu back down on the seat. Seeing this fish was completely confused, he knew the other wasn't ready to come clean. However, to be able to obtain a kiss from Xiaoyu, Jingwang was already very satisfied. Jingwang lightly patted Xiaoyu's shoulder and pointed at himself. Then he pointed outside of the carriage and promptly got off the carriage himself. Wang Gonggong, who was outside of the carriage waiting, received his master's eye gesture and explained loudly for his master, "His Highness has urgent business and needs to rush back immediately. The carriage and fish will both be entrusted to the young master to look after." "Oh, all right." So, Jingwang needed to leave as well. Then Liu will just stay within the carriage. With the time limit close at hand, Liu didn't bother to think too much and hastily acknowledged it. Seeing Jingwang's figure leave, Liu paused for a moment. Gathering together a courage that he didn't even expect he had, he yelled loudly at Jingwang, "Your Highness, I wasn't angry just now." Hearing this, Jingwang also felt his heart tremble. He turned his head to give Liu a smile. Liu waved goodbye wildly, put down the window curtain and opened the cover of the crystal bottle. The very next second, he changed back into a fish. Really, it was much too close. He almost didn't manage to make it. Liu nimbly placed the clothes that had fallen onto the floor and the fish pillow back into his portable storage space. After doing all of this, he originally planned to immediately jump into the crystal bottle. However, a hairpin rolled right next to his side. The hairpin that Jingwang bought for him. He couldn't lose that. This was a gift, but Liu didn't want to put it away immediately. He held the hairpin in his mouth and jumped into the crystal bottle holding onto the hairpin. After entering the water, Liu wrapped the hairpin with his fish body and rubbed his fish mouth against it happily. There was also a fish at the end of the hairpin. It was as cute as the fish him. When he received the hairpin, he didn't have much time to check out and missed out that detail. Liu played with the hairpin for a while before finally storing it away in his portable storage space. Next, he needed to start thinking about the thing between Jingwang and himself. In this life, the most unexpected matter was him liking Jingwang back. Although Liu's reaction was somewhat slow, as soon as he realized his feelings, Liu immediately felt like the huge stone that was pressing down on his heart in the last few days finally rolled off. So, what came after extreme distress was a total sense of relief. So, his abnormal actions before were all because he liked Jingwang as well. Liu laughed stupidly. Becoming aware of this fact felt a bit sweet, so sweet that fish blew a long string of bubbles. There was nothing else to play with inside the crystal bottle, nor was there a fake mountain to vent on. Fish can only excitedly spin around in circles, almost accidentally breaking the crystal bottle. No, stop thinking about this. Liu hastily controlled himself. What he should be thinking about now was that since he liked Jingwang, what should he do next? Before, he was completely at a loss as to why Jingwang would like him. He didn't really actually consider what if they both returned each other's affections. He only thought vaguely that distance between them was too great and that being together didn't seem too possible. After all, he was a fish. Jingwang was human. He was a transmigrator. Jingwang was a character in a novel. Liu still remembers placing all sorts of reasons before himself. Now that he was recalling them again, weren't these all stumbling blocks on the path of love? He originally used these to convince himself that they weren't suitable, that being together meant facing innumerable risks. If he really decided to be together with Jingwang, he can no longer be an observer of this novel world. He would need to be a participant and actual part of this world. This meant that he needed to completely integrate into the world inside this novel and assimilate himself into Jingwang's life. But he was fundamentally a person from the modern era. In many areas, he had a completely different outlook from Jingwang. The two of them most likely will disagree. Perhaps they will even argue. Many people of the modern era knew that falling in love was only falling in love. Liking someone didn't mean staying together forever because of people, environment, and society. Whether a relationship will end up wonderful or tragic relied on too many factors. It couldn't completely depend on love to overcome all hardship. When modern people got into a relationship and it didn't work out, they would break up at a suitable time. However, if he assimilated into Jingwang's life, then it wouldn't be up to him. In the ancient world, the ruler had the final decision. His life would be completely in the hands of Jingwang, branded by Jingwang's mark. Right now they liked each other, but what if one day, they became unsuitable to be together? Liu wouldn't be able to back out and there would really be no place for him to go. He knew and also understood, these were all reasons that obstructed him. There were 1,000 reasons blocking in front of him, wanting him to stop. But the reason for him to continue walking forward with Jingwang, only one was enough. They liked each other. Their feelings were mutual. Liu remembered that someone once said in the modern era, in a person's life, if one was able to encounter someone who liked them and whom they also liked back, is very fortunate. Liu was only a youth who was getting his first taste of love. This was the first person he liked. To have him give up on love immediately after he first realized love and tasted love was really not possible. Young Master Li, young Master Li. Liu already transformed for quite a while. According to Jingwang's instructions, Wang Shi waited for a teacup of time before coming over to help Liu. However, young Master Li couldn't possibly answer. Wang Shi lifted the curtain to the carriage and only saw a crystal bottle placed properly inside the horse carriage. Next to the crystal bottle was a note. Wang Shi picked it up to have a look. Did young Master Li leave again? Every time Liu transformed, it was pretty much like pat dust off his butt and disappear. If it kept happening that way, people might start suspecting him. This time before leaving for the trip, Liu specifically wrote a note explaining his absence. The general gist was that he had urgent business again and must head off in advance. Wang Shi already didn't find it strange anymore. He had to hand young Master Li's note to His Highness anyway. Picking up the note, Wang Shi also held up the crystal bottle and said with a smile to the little carp inside, "Master Xiaoyu, only this old servant is left now. I will bring you back immediately." The carriage started moving again. Behind the carriage, only a few distance away, a tall and upright figure traveled on horseback, following the carriage the entire trip back, silently guarding the person inside the carriage. When Liu returned to the estate, he immediately entered the system. He hadn't been inside the cute pet system for a long time. The system still remained on the page where he left it last time examining the missions. Facing the system, Liu felt somewhat conflicted. After all, the person who didn't want to do missions ever again was him. Now the person who returned in search of the system was also him. System, how do I completely turn into a human? Liu asked. The system said, complete the Revitalize the Bloodline main mission. After the main mission is completed, the reward will allow host to completely turn back into a human. So, it's like this. On one hand, Liu rejoiced that the system didn't have any feelings and didn't understand how to feel awkward, therefore, the system didn't ignore him or ridicule him for their disagreement before. On the other hand, if there were no cute pet system, maybe he would have become an ingredient in the Imperial Consort's 1000 carp soup a long time ago. Now that he understood his own feelings clearly, he had to admit that although all of the missions that he completed were part of the system's plot, his feelings of liking Jingwang and Jingwang's affection towards him were all real and genuine. He can no longer deceive himself. Liu. All right. As long as I can return to being a human, I will still continue to do the main mission. Since he liked Jingwang, he no longer had any psychological barriers in doing these missions. Moreover, it would help him completely return back to being a human. Why the heck not do them? Who would have thought that by looking at things from another perspective, bad things can turn into good things? The system asked, would host like to receive the reward for wind, flower, snow, and moon mission now? Surprised, Liu immediately recalled that the reward for this mission was to obtain one of the secrets pertaining to Jingwang and a fish pillow. He already accepted the fish pillow before. Meanwhile, the secret about Jingwang, did he even have any secret that Liu didn't know about? Now that his way of thinking had changed, he also unconsciously wanted to know even more about the person that he liked. Liu coughed softly and said, since it was a reward, it'd be a waste not to accept it. A page jumped out in front of him. Liu realized that it was designed in such a way that he could choose between 4 options represented in small square icons and that it wasn't the color set that the system regularly used. Instead, each of the icons depicted the scene of the secret that continuously moved. The first one was a palace. Liu found it unfamiliar and skipped over it. The second one was a courtyard. Liu thought it looked rather familiar. As for the other 2, one was a constantly revolving swirl. The last one was the side profile of a person's face. Liu surprisingly recognized that this person was actually himself. One of secrets about Jingwang was actually related to him. What could it be? Liu remembered the number of likes that was written on the walls of the Jing estate and felt like his head was about to start smoking. He thought to himself, this last secret wasn't really a secret anymore to him. At this moment, Liu felt like this was a hard to come by chance that shouldn't be wasted. If he picked a secret that he was only somewhat familiar with, it would be better. Therefore, he picked the second option. After confirming, Liu suddenly found he was surrounded by fog. Was he entering another illusion again? Liu looked around all over and discovered that this was not the same as the illusion he had with the little fatty before. In the illusion with the little fatty, he was in the shape of a fish and could swim around. This time, the scenery and the reality was very similar, however, no matter what he did, he couldn't swim around at all. Liu realized that since it was Jingwang's secret, he naturally became a complete observer. These were only memories. The courtyard that he chose was right before his eyes. Upon closer look, he identified the place and couldn't help but exclaimed, wasn't this the estate of the second prince where he was sentenced to be confined in? No wonder he thought it looked familiar. Soon, he saw Jingwang walking over with a crystal bottle. Liu realized. This was the scene where Jingwang brought him over to teach the second prince a lesson in front of him. Was there some secret that occurred here that he didn't know of? Liu watched the scene where Jingwang dropped the fish pillow into the second prince's bowl of soup again. Seeing it a second time, Liu still found it very satisfying. He remembered that after Jingwang finished punishing the second prince, he quickly brought Liu away. Did something else happen after that? Liu continued watching. He noticed that Jingwang held the crystal bottle in one hand. At the same time, he gave a hand gesture towards Wang Shi with his other hand. Then Wang Shi brought some people and waited until Jingwang left before force-feeding the second prince plenty of wine. While the second prince was completely drunk, they pushed the second prince into the pond. Liu. So, the second prince didn't accidentally fell into the water. It was something Jingwang had orchestrated. The memory in this illusion ended here. Liu returned to the system. A secret was called as such because it was something that Liu didn't know. Liu could actually understand why Jingwang would act against the second prince this way. Jingwang and the second prince had a lot of personal grudges after all. The second prince also attempted to harm the Chang'an palace. However, Liu was only a fish. If Jingwang wanted to get rid of someone, he could do whatever he wanted. Why did he specifically take fish away before doing it? Could Liu interpret this as, Jingwang didn't want fish to see it? But clearly, Jingwang allowed Liu to watch as he punished the second prince with the fish pillow. And No wait. Liu suddenly remembered. It's been a long time since Jingwang did anything brutal in front of fish. Liu thought carefully. Before, Jingwang once killed a female assassin and scared fish. Ever since then, fish had not seen any fighting or killing after that. Or perhaps, that's the real meaning of the secret. Liu thought that Jingwang's temperament was getting better, but actually, it's not that those things didn't happen. Jingwang lived in this ancient time period. He had his own principles and methods of dealing with things. There were some things he had to do. However, because fish would get scared, he acted on those things in such a way that fish wouldn't know about it, so fish won't be affected in any ways. Liu really didn't know if he should feel angry or thankful. No wait. Why did it feel like this big scoundrel treated fish even better than him? End chapter. The disabled tyrant's beloved pet fish. Transmigration. Chapter 63. Right now was not the time to bicker about this messed up thing. Liu quickly straightened his runaway thoughts and focused on looking at the Revitalize the Bloodline main mission. The next step was be sticky as glue with the tyrant. Hint, none. Liu was just thinking that he will stop playing smart tricks and start to solve the main mission seriously as quickly as possible, but when he saw the new update in the mission, he became speechless. System, you come out right now. I promise I won't beat you to death. Liu could misinterpret the wind, flower, snow, and moon into drinking together, but there was no way to mistaken what this be sticky with Jingwang meant. The two of them hadn't even started a pure and innocent romance yet. Furthermore, this main mission should be split into several steps. If it already required them to be joined at the hip, then what would he need to do in the after this? Liu's eyes twitched terribly. He kept feeling like this kind of development wasn't a good sign. This be sticky with the tyrant task can wait for now. Liu left the system like his tail was on fire. Whenever he was inside the system, his actual fish body would temporarily lose awareness. When Liu returned to his body, he immediately saw an enlarged handsome face. Jingwang, who said he had urgent business, was back already and currently holding a jade scepter, and was about to feed fish. Liu, oh. Just now when he was squished inside the carriage and being kissed repeatedly, he didn't notice, but now that he was suddenly seeing the person he liked again, fish actually started feeling somewhat embarrassed. With this embarrassment, his head and fish fins both started to crash. Fish immediately started to sink to the bottom of the water. Jingwang hastily reached in a hand to support fish. Liu looked at him foolishly, heart feeling like spring water being blown by the breeze, creating ripples upon ripples of happy waves. No wonder he always felt that this person looked extremely pleasing no matter from what angle or perspective. So, it was because Liu liked him. So, this kind of feeling was the feeling of liking someone. Liu suddenly jumped as if he was startled. He randomly swam around 2 circles where he was and then dove straight into a fake mountain cave, only revealing the tip of his tail. His speed this time was even faster than when he was running away in anger. Good thing fish was covered by fish scales all over. Or else, Fish would have flushed visibly red all over. Fish was hiding inside the fake mountain cave again. Jingwang was a bit worried that maybe Fish got stuck again or was throwing a temper at him again. He attempted to flick the fish's tail briefly. The fish's tail trembled violently and then pulled completely inside the cave. Jingwang. These last few days, Jingwang figured out that the best course of action here was to slowly coax the fish and not act too hastily. Recalling the kisses they've exchanged in the carriage, Jingwang couldn't help but chuckle. Although Xiaoyu did not manage to finish what he wanted to say, Jingwang was in a good mood. Liu hid in the cave while eavesdropping on the movements outside from time to time. He also continued to think about his next course of action. Before he realized his feeling for Jingwang, he might have been conflicted and wavered. But once he did, he found that every young man who had just fallen in love became a brazen warrior. No matter how many difficulties and obstacles there might be in the future, they were nothing to him at this moment. The moment he realized that he liked Jingwang, this was when he found out just how deep this like was. Just reuniting every day and seeing this person again made him feel extremely delighted. He liked him so much that he wanted to give this romantic relationship a try. Even if this path wasn't easy, without trying walking down this road, how was he supposed to talk about the future? However, being a fish ultimately not good if he is going to pursue this relationship. Right now, he only has 2 short hours to be human. It was probably not even long enough to feel embarrassed about. Therefore, it's best to change back into a human as soon as possible and also not get too close to Jingwang before then. Even if he liked him, he still needed to maintain a certain distance. He definitely could not allow Jingwang to discover his secret. Right. If he could lay down at least some basic rules with Jingwang. According to his observation of Jingwang in the last few days, Jingwang would most likely agree to his requests. Holding hands was fine. Going on dates was fine. Kissing. It's not like they haven't kissed plenty of times already, of course that's fine too. Then what about that? Liu, who had secretly peeked into the little yellow book before, felt a bit eager. He was a normal guy after all. Of course, he also had things he was looking forward to doing. To be honest, he was not against being intimate with Jingwang. The one earlier was all a misunderstanding. He haven't realized his own feelings then. Right now, not only was he not against this kind of thing, he was even secretly looking forward to it. They were both adults, so it's to be expected that this kind of thing would naturally happen when the conditions were right. Liu blushed as he couldn't help imagining himself suddenly turning back into a fish during a certain intense activity at a certain critical moment. That scene definitely wouldn't be pretty and shouldn't be able to be viewed directly. He and Jingwang might have blood splattered all over them. In order to avoid that kind of accident, Liu ended up giving a big X to that kind of activities for now. With a regretful face, he thought that they should control their lower half, but once he finished doing the main mission, he won't have anything to worry about. Feeling both excited and agitated, Liu laid on a small rock inside the cave and restlessly turned around until his fish body practically polished the little rock smooth, before finally managing to fall asleep. When he woke up, Jingwang was no longer present. Apparently, Jingwang received a summon from the emperor early in the morning. The emperor had ordered Jingwang to enter the palace to discuss something. When Jingwang returned last night, Fish was too embarrassed to come out of the cave. When Jingwang got up this morning to receive the emperor's edict, Fish was sleeping soundly and was completely unaware. Jingwang stroked the fish tail that was exposed outside of the cave and thoughtfully entered the palace himself, afraid of waking the fish up. Liu was quite sensible and understand that it's important for Jingwang to heed the emperor's summon. However, the plot of the original novel had been completely messed up. Liu thought for a long time but still couldn't think of a plot that was related to this summon. The third prince and the sixth prince both received corporal punishments and were now learning to behave properly with their tails between their legs. The emperor might be just feeling like a benevolent father and wanted to catch up with Jingwang. Also, it's possible that the results of the investigation on the folk song and fake monks finally came out. Perhaps the emperor was giving Jingwang something for compensation. Liu felt this trip into the palace shouldn't be a bad thing. His heart gradually calmed down. He calculated the time for Jingwang's return and changed form. Placing the fish pillow inside the crystal tank, Liu picked a silver-colored robe that he liked a lot and put it on, tidying the lapels himself. He still had the hairpin that Jingwang gave him. To use it, he had to wear his hair in a bun. Liu didn't really know how to do it. Wang Gonggong had also accompanied Jingwang into the palace. He didn't feel comfortable asking the other servants, so he could only improvise. Finding a silver hair tie, he made a little ponytail and then stuck the jade hairpin into it, leaving the round fat fish outside. Liu nodded as he looked into the bronze mirror, feeling that he looked pretty good. Jingwang still hadn't come back. Liu sat in front of the table, spread a piece of paper and wrote down everything he thought about during the night while he waited for Jingwang. Ganqing Palace. Liu wasn't wrong. The imperial guards of the emperor just discovered that the people who first spread the folk song used to defame Jingwang were the third prince's subordinates. They also found many civilian witnesses and brought them in front of the emperor for the emperor to question them personally. After a break of several days, the emperor was once again enraged by the third prince. At this time, the head diviner, Sun Si Miao, from the astronomy department came forth and reported that according to their investigations, one of the members of the astronomy department had received a bribe. Meanwhile, the person who provided the money for this bribe was also the third prince, Mu Tianming. The emperor finally realized why the third prince was casting doubts at the astronomy department that day without any apparent reason. Was he trying to create an opportunity for the person that he bribed? The third prince attempted to use folk song and fake monks to hurt Jingwang. He also attempted to extend his hands into the astronomy department. These actions pretty much violated all of the emperor's taboos. The emperor was just looking for a suitable chance to punish the third prince again. At this time, the third prince practically asked for it by doing another stupid thing. So, for these past days, the injury that the third prince had received from the beating got much better. He started to order a personal servant to watch the reports heading towards the emperor every day. The third prince was very unwilling to read and study together with the little princes. The emperor made it sound nice, saying it's to let him study, but he wasn't a little child anymore. In the royal family, adult princes should help the emperor and share his burden and participate in the court session. Yet, he was only allowed to study. If the emperor didn't say anything, how long was he supposed to study then? Wasn't this the same as ordering him to never get involved in politics ever again? When the second prince made a mistake before, he was only sent to confinement but ended up being confined until he went insane. Even then, the emperor still didn't let him out and even stopped mentioning the second prince after that. The third prince finally knew fear and felt extremely regretful. He went to ask the sixth prince for help. Mu Tianxiao, who also received a beating and was recovering, asked him to stay put, but Mu Tianming was unwilling to keep wasting time. His birth mother, concubine Zhang, frequently contacted several of the wives of government officials who supported him. Through this layer of relationship, Mu Tianming asked those officials to beg for mercy on his behalf in the court and petitioned the emperor to allow him to take assignments again. He didn't particularly hope for any grand task. Whatever was fine, as long as it allowed him to appear before the emperor and prevent the emperor from forgetting him. These court officials discussed and drafted a memorial stating basically that the third prince have learned from his mistakes and sincerely regretted his actions. He was willing to help the emperor in his burdens. They even specifically invited an extremely articulate scholar from the Imperial Hanlin Academy to write the third prince's recent experiences being extremely pitiful, in the hope that with their father and son relationship, it would inspire the emperor's sympathy towards the third prince. The officials didn't know if the emperor felt touched upon reading the report. However, The emperor was rather infuriated by the fact that several of his officials joined together to write and sign this memorial. He had just received information that the third prince bribed a member of the astronomy department. Now there were a bunch of officials in court begging for mercy on him. One of the emperor's specific taboos was regarding princes having personal dealings with his court officials. The third prince wasn't even near the crown prince position yet, and he was already attempting to pressure the emperor. The emperor only ordered the third prince to go study and read for a few days to polish his impatient personality. Did the third prince not even understand this? How was he supposed to reflect on his mistakes then? The emperor remembered all of the officials involved. The third prince waited left and right but didn't manage to receive the emperor's pardon. The emperor not only ordered him to study together with the two younger princes, the seventh and the eighth prince, but also ordered the third prince to copy the book of filial piety every day, which was to be inspected by the imperial tutor. The third prince lost all face. The officials that the emperor noted were also either transferred or demoted later on. After a long time passed, the third prince finally realized that he made another mistake. He went in search of his trusty advisor, the sixth prince, again. Mu Tianxiao also couldn't do anything. It's easier to lose things than to regain them. I told you to stay quiet for a while but you refused to listen. Who told you to continue to seek death? Angered by the third prince, the emperor thought that none of his older sons were capable enough. His two younger sons were simply too young, so it's too early to tell. The imperial guards already confirmed that the sixth prince was working for the third prince. The emperor was already disgusted with the third prince, but with some heavy pointers and stern guidance, perhaps the sixth prince could still be remedied. However, if he had to switch to grooming the sixth prince to be the next ruler, for some inexplicable reason, the emperor just couldn't do it. The emperor inevitably thought of another one of his sons, Jingwang. Thinking of Jingwang's name and the Go games that they've had, the emperor knew that Jingwang was very talented. But just because he was a naturally born mute, and also to protect Jingwang, the emperor have never given Jingwang any important positions. But who could even understand all the troubles he's gone through? The second prince and the third prince were all short-sighted, constantly attempting to hurt Jingwang and the people close to Jingwang. Perhaps they felt like the unimportant Jingwang was someone who could be bullied. These people didn't consider showing respect to the emperor. In return, he wouldn't consider their feelings anymore. If Jingwang wanted to establish a place in front of the new ruler in the future, it didn't have to be based on the pity of the new ruler. It could be something that he, the current emperor, builds for him. In any case, choosing a crown prince was not urgent to the emperor at the moment. Now that the third prince had done all those despicable things, he needed to appease Jingwang again. The emperor summoned Jingwang into the palace and rambled for a long time to Jingwang once again. In the end, he ordered Jingwang to go to the Ministry of Works and accept assignments. Jingwang, whose thoughts were on immediately returning to the estate, but was abruptly smacked in the face by a meaty pie. The emperor spoke with convictions, "There are plenty of things that have happened in court lately, each one causing me worries. Tianqi, why don't you come help me?" If I remember correctly, Tian Zhao and Tian Ming started attending court sessions at the age of 12. It's already very late for you. Wasn't it just doing some desk work? Jingwang nodded with a wooden face. The emperor felt like Jingwang didn't seem very happy. Was there actually a prince who would be unhappy to work for me? However, this was just Jingwang's personality. He was not affected by favors or insults. If Jingwang were like the second prince or the third prince, the emperor thought, he'd probably be a disaster as well. The emperor said to himself that luckily, he still had one capable son. It's only, no matter how capable the son was, it's not necessarily a blessing for him. The emperor remembered that not long after Jingwang was born, the imperial physician diagnosed him as a naturally born mute, unable to speak for the rest of his life. The imperial physician said some heartfelt words to the emperor. naturally born muteness often passed down to future generations. Therefore, no matter how capable Jingwang was, he still couldn't help the emperor shoulder the burden of ruling a nation. The emperor still wouldn't commit the crime of choosing Jingwang to be the next ruler. The emperor thought about how after he became ruler, he had always placed great importance in first sons and hoped that his legal wife would birth him sons. However, the 3 sons that the late Empress Xiaohui gave birth to were all plagued with misfortunes. Perhaps this just wasn't his destiny, the emperor thought disappointedly. Jingwang accepted his assignment and bid the emperor farewell, returning to his estate. This assignment was the emperor's compensation to him. Jingwang was very clear about this in his heart. However, he didn't particularly feel happy about it. But then when he pushed open the door and saw Xiao Yu, who had a strange bun on his head, Jingwang couldn't help but smile. "Your Highness, look." Proud of himself, Li Yu pointed at the inserted hairpin on his head. Jingwang saw it already. Hairpins were often used as tokens of engagement. Since Xiao Yu put on the hairpin himself, didn't that mean that he was willing to be engaged to Jingwang? Standing there, Jingwang was unable to calm down even after a long time. "Your Highness, there's more." Li Yu sat on the side of the bed and beckoned at him. Recalling how he drowned in sweetness inside the carriage yesterday, all at once, Jingwang's ears started turning slightly red. Xiao Yu was sitting on the side of the bed and calling him over. It was still broad daylight. Was the Carpio planning to start absorbing essence here and now, just like this? If that's what Xiao Yu wanted, Jingwang had no objections at all. Jingwang sat down. Li Yu also had a reddened face. Jingwang didn't even manage to touch his hand yet when Li Yu swiftly whipped out a piece of paper from his sleeve and said with a wide smile, "Let's agree on 3 basic rules together, Your Highness." End chapter.